Hey, sorry the lighting ain't so great. Got a little natural light coming in here. I'm about to start writing a series that I did a long time ago. It was called Timeless, and it was me. The premise was that it was a 128 wrestler tournament. Anyway, I wrote a bunch of those matches out. Stuff like Big Van Vader versus John Cena. Ricky Steamboat versus Chris Benoit, Bruno Sammartino versus Samoa Joe. I wrote a lot of these matches out. It was very well received. It was when I wrote for LethalWrestling.com. And I've decided to start it up again. There's not a lot of wrestling content out there. And for some reason, I just had this vision of writing about, because, the Fabulous Freebirds, I think, without exception, are seen as the greatest three-person unit ever. And I went, well, what's the modern equivalent? And I immediately thought the New Day. And I thought, like, what a badass match that would be. And it sort of harkens back to the days of wrestling where people would discuss, like, who would win between whom and who and that kind of thing. And fuck it. It puts a little content out there. It's something that I'm interested in doing. And it's a nice break for me amidst all the chaos of trying to get money together and dealing with all of this stuff going on right now. But this is a preview of tonight's Tipping Point, which is different than tipping points that we've done before. In fact, it is unique in that we have never done anything quite like it before. And we're going to have 4 guests, and we're going to keep them to a tight 15 minutes. And it's Shalandra Royal, which when Larry and I, just for a little background, Larry and I had, I'd come up with the game show idea, but people didn't seem very keen on doing it. And Larry went, something that you brought up before, Steve, which is to take, because Larry's background is in therapy and that kind of thing. And I always wanted Larry to kind of do more of a deep dive. And the world is not what it was. And pretending like it is seems stupid. And Larry was down to have a couple of guests on. And then so we just worked on the details. A very intensive thing. Not a, who trained you? What are your inspirations of wrestling? But more, what's really going on? And so I wanted to have people who were on the come up. And I wanted people for whom this time off from wrestling really hurts them the most. And so that's Kyle Matthews. I wanted guys who were maybe not as well known, but who seemed very cerebral to me and very prone to be very open and having a discussion. That's Irving West. And then I wanted people who are fucking badass and big time and whose career are really taking off. And I wanted all kinds of voices. And Joe Black is a guy who I think really gets it. And of course, he's making the most of his time right now. But what does that mean exactly? And then Shalandra Royal, who, everybody knows that she's one of these people who has improved greatly. And she's one of these people who's definitely on the come up and had made appearances in AEW and just wanted to spend some time, 15 minutes each, and really get in deep and talk about what's going on right now and what does it mean and what are they doing and what's going through their minds. I'm old, right? I'm 48. And if we want to know what the boys are thinking, or at least these particular people, that you got to ask. And I want to have a deep conversation, and that's what's going to go on tonight. I'm very excited about it. I don't know exactly what's going to be discussed. I'm going to let Larry take the lead for the most part. My job is going to be being the timekeeper and then exploring avenues that get revealed that I think are interesting to explore. So join us for the Tipping Point tonight at 7. And I will see you then. And I'm going to get to work on Timeless right now. Freebirds versus New Day.